So, a little over 2 years ago, I was right about 320 pounds, and I was having so much pain in my back and lots of inflammation, and no doctor could help me. I spent thousands of dollars trying to find a specialist or a doctor that could tell me more than I just had polycystic ovarian syndrome and I just had inflammation, and I couldn't find a doctor that would help me get to the root of the problem and not simply want to just prescribe me more chemicals to put in my body and more hormones to put in my body to regulate what was going on. So I saw a new chiropractor for my back pain, and it was exactly what I was needing. It just happened to be the exact person that I needed to talk to, who he went past just what I was saying on the surface and actually listened to me, and we delved really deeply into chronic issues and past experience, and as well as family experience, overall health. And I left there that day. In fact, the day that I went, his office had been closed for an hour, but he was still on the property. And he said, well, as long as you're here and you're in pain, like, let me check you out. And so he saw me and gave me an examination, x-rays, as well as an adjustment, what he could do that day, after hours. And then he spent another hour and 15 minutes printing out um, basically statistics and just really good scientific evidence for things that I should try. Things like I need to be being conscious of how much omega-6 that I'm getting in my foods. I need to make sure I'm getting a lot of good high source omega-3s. I need to cut out the carbs. I need to cut out the sugar. It seemed so daunting, but when I left there, I went down the street to the grocery store and I spent my whole paycheck on basically the Mediterranean style diet. And for the next year, that's what I did. And I cut out a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs, but I was still consuming some sugars and carbs. But over the next year, I lost about 90 pounds, between 75 and 90. And then I transitioned into the more low carb, or some people call it the ketogenic way of eating, where I really, really kept track of my carbs and cut out all sugars. I haven't had any sugar in over a year and a half, and I cut out like all grains, all seeds, all fruits, and most vegetables. I stay away from high starch vegetables, really even like super high fiber vegetables, because our bodies do not require high amounts of fiber to relieve ourselves, for lack of a better term. So I stay away from high starch vegetables and really just stick to like broccoli, asparagus, the occasional cauliflower, because I feel really bloated after I eat cauliflower. So I feel like there's a little too much insoluble fiber in cauliflower that my body particularly cannot break down. But I've been doing this for about the last year or so, as far as the very, very low carb. And then here recently, I have gone more into the carnivore stage, just because I have come to find that me personally, my body does not handle the fibrous, the vegetables, the the cellulose and things in vegetables is hard for my body to break down. So if I love vegetables, but if I want them, I keep it more towards like the weekend, where I can have a little more filler to my meal. And it's a treat for me to get vegetables on the weekend. But throughout the week, I mainly stick to animal meats, animal products. I try not to get anything that's prepackaged or that is, um, processed. So luckily we have a butcher that has just opened here in town, so I don't have to drive an hour and a half to closest butcher that we have. So it's like a 3-hour trip just to get some fresh meat. But pretty much I stick to like ribeyes, ground beef. I try to stay away from lean meats just because adding fat sourced fats to your meal, it can get a little out of hand, and it can be hard for your body to break down some of those fats that are not found naturally in your meats and in your foods. So I try to get the fattier cut of meat. Like if we go out to eat, which is rare because it's really, really hard to eat out when you cannot consume sugar, cannot have carbs. But there's a great barbecue place here in our town. It's called Whole Hog Barbecue, and I can go in there and say I want an order of the burnt ends, which are the burnt pieces off of their brisket, which are very fatty cuts of meat. It's about a pound of meat. I cannot finish all of it in one sitting, but it's a great option for if I want to treat myself and eat out, and that I'm so satisfied, I'm so satiated, I'm full, and I don't get hungry until, closer to dinner the next night. And that tells me that my body is telling me that I've done the good thing, I've done the right thing, and I've eaten really well at that meal. So this is just what has worked for me. I'm not a health professional, I'm not an expert of any kind. I am a daily student. I'm constantly learning. I'm trying to educate myself at all times because knowledge is your most powerful weapon. I've come to find this to be so true. People that are not an expert, that do not have any experience in this field, try to give me their opinion, and it's usually the worst advice because every body is different. My body is different than your body. It's different from Joe's, from Sam's, from everyone. So you have to find out and kind of trial and error what works best for you. Love you. But yeah. But like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm not a medical professional. But this is just my personal journey, my experience, and I really wanted to get a YouTube channel kicked off and started so that maybe, just maybe, I could help someone that's in the same position that I've been in. I am now about 11 pounds away from my goal. Originally my goal weight was 20 pounds heavier than I am right now, and when I got there I just knew that I could go further. I wasn't quite done with this whole journey, so I'm about 11 pounds away from my goal weight, which will be what I weighed as a junior in high school. I started this out as like I said, I was about 320-ish pounds. I was in a size 4X and pushing it, and I am now in a size 10, 12 in some designers, and like 12, 14 in other brands, but I'm in like a medium large, and I'm half the size that I was. I have lost a whole person. It is crazy. It's amazing. I recently made a trip to the doctor to get some blood work done because I wanted to make sure I wasn't deficient in anything, because switching to carnivore I've had to supplement a lot of things that I'm not getting nutritionally from vegetables or food. So I got some blood work done. They said that my cholesterol was a bit high because I eat mostly meat, which I could have told them that, but other than that, all my blood work came back great. So I don't see why this is not the standard way of eating. This is the way our ancestors ate. It seems to be working for me. I've lost over 130 pounds, y'all. It's amazing. So like and subscribe, hit that red notification button and the bell icon to get more videos. Like I said, this is my first video. Not sure that it'll reach anybody, but if you happen to be watching this and this video resonates with you, if anything that I have said resonates with you, please hit that subscribe button. There will be more videos to come, and thank you for watching all the way through, and I hope that you are having a great day, and that whatever journey you're on, it's to be happy and it's to be healthy, and I'm right there alongside you. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.